Trist. How are you feeling, man? Pretty upsetting that you're going through that stuff again on your own, but you know we're here for you, man. We are here, and don't feel bad if you have to miss the stream. Like I said, your health always comes first. You're really tired, yeah. I mean, the struggle is real. I have no idea how you are feeling or what you even feel when you go through that type of stuff, but sending you lots of well wishes. And yeah, I'm doing this stream for you. So this is what you have requested. So thank you, Tristan. Let's do some chowder in a bread bowl. Hi, Mama. How are you? Hopefully everyone's weekend was well. Mine was busy, but really, really fun. I have to say that. I'm enjoying my new routines and all that. The tests are what is terrible. Yeah, I believe it. I've never been one to like be in the hospital much, but last year when I was in there, I did not like it at all. Well, yeah, sleep is what heals the body, right? So just make sure you get enough of that. And eat well too, because that'll make you feel better. Work is really good. I've been learning a lot of new stuff and different stuff, and it's really nice and relaxing. I have to say that. It's by far my favorite kitchen that I've ever worked in. It's exactly how a kitchen should go. Like, no one should be majorly stressed out or anything like that, and we aren't. I got off early yesterday too, so Sammy brought me out for dinner. We went into the city and went to Fisherman's Wharf, and we had some seafood. We got like buckashuck oysters, we had clams, we shared some fried fish. It was really good. Epic, thanks for the hosts. MILF, my man, how are you today? Happy Monday, guys. The start of a new week. Let's crush it. Okay, so chowder in a bread bowl. I've never prepared chowder like this, so I'm pretty excited. We will have to make the bread first. So yay for that. We're going to make the bread together on stream because it really isn't hard at all. I have all the ingredients out, and then it takes 2 hours to proof. So the first round of proofing or rising time is just a bulk one, a big batch of dough, and we want that to double. And then after that, we will divide it into, it says 5 small little bread bowls. So we'll divide it, and then it has to rise one more time for an hour before we bake it for around 20 minutes. So it's a really easy recipe. It's like making really big buns. You had an opportunity to go have scallops and clams, and the thought of it made you sick even though you love it. Aw, Trist. I'm so sad for you. Yeah, honestly, dude, like, not being able to eat your favorite foods, I totally understand that aspect of it, because when I was, like, going through anxiety and depression last year, I couldn't eat a thing. Like, everything that I loved was just disgusting to me. Like, Sammy even tried to bring me out for ramen, because maybe that would, like, help my appetite a bit, but I had like 5 bites and I was like, I honestly can't eat this without feeling sick. So I totally understand that. It is the worst. MILF, you gained 15 followers and your first bits dono this week. Woohoo! That's amazing. Slowly but surely it will come together, man. You just have to be consistent. That's one thing I will say. Hey Mulan, how are you? Really big buns. Yes, Trist. Just for you. And then I did post all of the other recipes on Discord for you guys. I have a couple different things to use up in the chowder today. So we're going to be using up the cod that we got for Optrix. Remember when we got the whole codfish in and I filleted it and stuff like that and saved the head and the backbone. So we're going to make a fish stock out of that today before we make the chowder. And I also had some salmon bone scraps in the freezer that I kept, so I'm putting those in. And then I have a couple cans of clams, just whole baby clams in water, and then Sammy got some nice wild crab meat to put in as well. So just like a nice little trio of seafood is usually the best option here, but if you don't have that, even just using one type of fish is totally fine. You have an idea. Can you still request though? Just wicking a vape RDA with your fiance. Nice. You can still request, of course. How did I get my follower goal on my stream? That is through Streamlabs. I'm not sure what you're using to stream MILF, but I'm actually using both Streamlabs and Stream Elements to get the best out of everything. So the follow goal and the little event list above it is through Streamlabs. So it's just on the left hand under goals. Yeah, if you go under goals, you'll see it. Trist, bread bowls are famous from Avar's world famous Chowder, and they're from Seattle, and they have their place on the waterfront. Oh, nice. I was not there, but that is cool. I'm glad that there's like a little bit of history behind this. You're kind of focused, but trying to listen at the same time. Sounds good. Sounds good, as long as you're here, but not actually here. Okay, and then roasted corn salad. So I've made this before on stream. Not sure if you guys remember it. I'm going to kind of go along with the same recipe before. So I have full corn here that we're just going to cut the kernels off of these guys. Roast them up. Same with the baby peppers. And then I will probably have to pick some salad greens from outside because I totally forgot that we were doing salad. And I don't have very much in the fridge, so I'll have to pick some during the stream. Uh-oh. And then for the dressing, I think I want to do it like lemon instead of lime. So we're going a little bit less on the Mexican side and going more like lemon to complement the chowder. We've been eating a lot of white chicken and pasta for carbs. Nice. Simple, simple food. That's good. Try and throw in some veg in there, Trist. I promise your belly will thank you. The guys are home. They're home early today. Okay, so let's do a little bit of clam chowder history before we start. And then we gots to get going. And if we have a little bit of time today too, we'll do a little bit more pickle prep with the radishes. Hi, Sammy.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
And other than that, I think the day will go by pretty fast. Hey, Rook, how are you? And Shadow. Okay, fun facts time. So, clam chowder is any of several chowder soups containing clams and broth. Very simple. And in addition to clams, common ingredients include diced potatoes, onions, and celery. Other vegetables are not typically used, but you could use small carrot strips or a garnish of parsley as well. You could also add bay leaves into the broth if you wanted. And then it's believed that clams were used in chowder because of the relative ease of harvesting them. So they're pretty easy to get out of the shell because they're small. And it's usually served with saltine crackers, so they're really dry square crackers that we all eat when we're usually sick, I'm sure. Or small hexagonal oyster crackers. I don't know if anyone's had oyster crackers. I have, but I know they're pretty hard to find nowadays. I think they actually got discontinued. You've always been curious about how they make the bowls and cut them. Yeah, you know what? It's super easy, Trist. You just like make little small loaves of bread and then you just cut them open and take some of the bread out. And I would save that bread for sure to make breadcrumbs or something. And then you fill it with soup. So it is set up, but you don't know how to get it on the screen. Oh, okay, word up. Go on to your OBS and add a browser source. And then copy and paste your browser source into there. And then it should show up. So the dish clam chowder originated in the eastern United States, but it's now commonly served in restaurants throughout the country, particularly on Fridays, when American Catholics traditionally abstained from eating meat. Many regional variations do exist, but the two most prevalent are New England, so what we're making today, which is also known as the white clam chowder, and the Rhode Island / Manhattan one, which is known as the red clam chowder. I do like both, but I do like to use salmon with the Manhattan, the red one, instead of like a white fish. But that's just my opinion on that. But you never know unless you try it, right? So do whatever works for you. Yeah, it's Chowder, Frenchie. What's up, pickled eggs? How are you guys doing? Have you recovered from your frickin' Asian market conundrum the other day? You take the inside of the bread bowl and you dip it in the clam chowder and eat it. Oh my gosh, Tris, we should totally do that. It also reminds me of spinach dip, and now I really want spinach dip in a bread bowl. Sounds good, Rook. We'll be here. Okay, let's go over some of the different varieties, or the more popular varieties of clam chowder, and then we'll get started. Dante. Yes, loving the purple username, dude. You love chowder and you love bread as well as corn. Well, this is a meal for you then. No probs, MILF. I gotcha. What kind of seafood's going in? So a couple weeks ago, I got a whole cod, a lingcod in, and we butchered it up, I guess. So I have the cod head and the backbones that I saved. I also have a couple little salmon trim pieces going in, and we're gonna just make a little stock with that first. And then I have a couple cod fillets from the cod, and a little bit left over from when we ate it. So that's like pre-cooked-ish. And I have 2 cans of clams and a can of crab. It's gonna be yummy. Can we talk on Discord like right when you're done so I can give you the idea? Sure, Mulan. Do it up. I mean, I should be done around 7 p.m. tonight. Or just send me a message of what you're thinking right now, and then I'll follow up after the stream. It's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be so good. And then I have a bunch of potato stuff to use up, so I'm not using like fresh potatoes. If I was using fresh potatoes, I would grate them to go into the chowder, because that way they fall apart a lot easier and it thickens the broth that way, instead of having to add like any flour or butter, like a roux. But today I have a little bit of mashed potatoes and some baby potatoes that were buttered with dill. So those are gonna go in instead, and that will help thicken the soup. Okay, let's get into the New England chowder. So it's occasionally referred to as Boston clam chowder in the Midwest. It's a milk or cream based chowder. It's often a thicker consistency than the other regional styles, even though traditionally it actually was more thin. And the early 20th century recipes actually used condensed milk as the base. Very interesting. I don't know if I would like that or not. Unless it was just like plain condensed milk and not the sweetened kind, then that would make sense. But other than that, I don't know if I'd like the sweetness in it. And then it's commonly made with potatoes, onions, and clams. But obviously if you call it a seafood chowder, then you can put whatever you really want into it. You were introduced to clam chowder when you were in Boston. Oh, so you had that like OG chowder. I have never been that way yet in my life, so I'm a little bit jealous of you right now. But I have had quite a few chowders, and I have to say the ones that I get out here are good. Most of the time they're made really proper. What is chowder? Well, I'm explaining it right now. And then it says New England clam chowder is usually accompanied by oyster crackers. So there's little hexagonal crackers. And the brand is Crown Pilot crackers. But the product was discontinued in 2008, and they may be crushed or mixed into the soup for a thickener as well. Boston has a pretty cool food scene. Yeah, I mean, I follow a chef that works there, and I always watch his Instagram stories and stuff. It looks really, really cool out there. How about I don't show my biceps and carry on with my life? Okay, Manhattan clam chowder, so the tomato-based one. It has a red broth, obviously tomato-based, yes. And the addition of tomatoes in place of milk was initially the work of the Portuguese immigrants in Rhode Island, as the tomato-based stews were already a traditional part of the Portuguese cuisine. In the 1890s, this chowder was called Fulton Fish Market clam chowder or New York City clam chowder. And Manhattan clam chowder was referenced in Victor Hertzler's Hotel St. Francis cookbook in 1919. Well, it's not too old. Hey, Viyun, how are you? I'm happy you're here. I watched a little bit of your sushi video while I was eating lunch today. It looked so good. I have to say that, dude. You did really good. Okay, let's get started. It's time to make some bread. This is one of the longer processes today, and then after we mix up our bread dough, we can start making the fish broth and probably roasting off the veg for the salad. And then the fish for the chowder, that doesn't go in until the very, very end because we don't want it to get overcooked at all because it will get dry and rubbery, which is not very appetizing. Hey, Matt, how are you? Want to see the end product? Yeah, post it in Discord if you want. Hey, Steve, what's going on, man? Siri thinks she needs to get in on this. She's wild. Okay, so I'm just following this recipe to a T. And it's from bakerbetty.com. Never seen this site before, but the recipe looks pretty proper. You're working and being juvenile. Love it. So the basis of any bread dough, we need to first dissolve sugar and yeast in some warm water and just let it stand for a couple minutes so that the yeast can kind of wake up and get all happy with the sugar. And then after that, we're gonna stir in some milk, some oil, a little bit of salt, and an egg. It calls for 2 eggs, but I'm only gonna use 1 duck egg, so it's like 1.5 chicken eggs. And then after that, we can start to add our flour to the mix. And then that should mix up to a nice smooth dough. And then we have to let it rise for an hour until we divide it into the little bowls. So let's get started. I have my mixer just set up beside me here. Is the yeast sleeping? Yeah, it's in the fridge. It's just having a nap, a prolonged nap. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 1/4 teaspoons of dry yeast, and a 1/2 cup of warm water. So typically when I do the water warm, I try and go for around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So you don't want it too cold, otherwise the yeast won't become active, and you don't want it too hot because then you'll actually kill the yeast and then your bread won't even rise at all. So I make flatbread, which is not what we want. We need a bowl. It's 35 there, Steve. That's nuts, man. It is not that warm here. Sugar. Just grabbing the yeast and the milk. Hey, do you remember never being able to like seafood when you were way younger? But weirdly, you always would think it looked so good. See, I would think that you would think it looks gross. But it also doesn't smell the most appetizing either, right? You're liking it more and more. That is awesome that you're like kind of growing into it. Oh, guys, I have some kind of sad news for me. My sourdough starter died. I don't know how, but for some reason they got some mold, like the bad mold, into the starter, and it just died. So I had to throw it out the other week. I was pretty upset. It was like 5 months old. So now I'm stuck using good old-fashioned yeast and sugar right now because I just haven't started a new one. Hey, Santa, what's going on? It was 31 in the UK today. Wow. It's getting warm there finally, though. You guys have been waiting for that, haven't you? But you've not really had like any mild weather. It's like so on and off. It's a humid 35°C, so it sucks. Ugh, I bet. I can't imagine how it would feel if it got to that temperature out here. It'd be so gross. Okay, just measuring out the water real quick. 1/2 cup of lukewarm water. So like room temp. Boop. Okay. Now you can't like see too much in there, but the yeast will start to expand a little bit. Yeah, I had it for 5 months and then it died. I don't know how it got contaminated, but pretty sad. Now I have to make Goldilocks number 3. Because I threw out the other one when I moved here from Vancouver. I didn't feel like carting it all the way across. So I made this new one and now it's gone too. So sad. So 1/2 cup of milk as well. So in total, 1 cup of liquids going into here. And then we're going to use around 3.5 cups of flour. Do we get snow? Not too much, Tris. Like typically when we get snow here, it's gone within a day, which I'm okay with. Because it just doesn't stay very cold here. What, Zach? With the resub, 3-month anniversary. Thank you. You know the deal. This is the last week to get your subs in to enter the apron giveaway contest. So we're going to be drawing names on Friday. So I'll add yours to the list, Zach. Pretty pumped about this. Came quick. Hey, Mama, how are you? You were forced to put the aircon on today. You hate the heat. You're like Sammy. See, I love the summertime. Sam does not like the summertime very much. Okay, so the yeast has blown up a little bit. I'll just give that a little mixy mix. Add the milk. So this is gonna cool it off a bit, which is why we wanted to bloom the yeast first with the warm water. So now that it's already active, we don't have to worry about adding cold ingredients. And then our egg, just gonna whisk it up in this measuring cup here, just so it's a little bit easier to incorporate with the flour. forced to put the aircon. I can't even believe that. So hot everywhere else right now, but we're pretty mild. It's been a weird day, like on and off, like sun showers. Just like rains when it's sunny outside here. Santa, can I suggest to you a thing you could cook? Nothing too hard, but too easy. You have to give me more than that. What ingredients are you working with? Okay, here's the egg. That can go in. Hammy Tom Tom, how are you? I'm doing good, Mama. Thanks for asking. Busy, but like a really good busy. Really enjoying all of the things going on in my life right now. And then a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. So I'm just going to use grapeseed because that's the most mild. I wouldn't recommend using olive oil just because it might give it a weird kind of flavor. And then this oil is going to help the bread stay really nice and moist and soft. Same with the milk. Anytime you add something fatty or rich, that helps you get a really nice soft dough. Oh, you're on mobile, Hammy, so you are not going to be here much. That's fine. It's the highest amount of subs I've ever had. I think 51 or 52. So I'm hoping to beat that this month. So that would be awesome. Okay, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Hot dogs don't seem bad. Anything but noodles. You've had enough noodles, okay. Do up the hot dogs then. Why not? Okay. So now we can just mix that up a little bit. Boop, boop, and start to put our flour in. So 3.5 cups of flour. Then this will probably mix for, let's say, 7-ish minutes. Usually like 7 to 10 is a good amount. Hi. Grilled fish, you could try to remember how to fillet a fish. Yes, I choose that. That is way better, Santa. You could always buy the fillet already cut. That's the problem with this world, Mama. You can do it yourself too, and you don't have to pay as much for it. Yeah, filleting a fish is so much fun. Once you get used to the brutality, I suppose. Help this along a little bit, but it looks pretty good so far. Anyone do anything awesome this weekend? Bratwurst. That's a good one too, Trist. That's a sausage, Santa. Bratwurst sausage. What's up, Albus? How's the day? Steve, you don't have AC, so you just die on days like this. Yeah, we had to have AC in Vancouver. That's how different the climate was over there compared to here. Even though it's only a couple hours away. Let's go, guys. For filleting the fish, you'll have to buy some better knives. Only one that's actually good is a cook's knife. Well, you could do it, but it probably won't work the best. Whenever I fillet fish, I like to use a knife that's pretty bendable, let's say. It's not as stiff of a blade. That is so crazy, Trist. Just roast inside of your house. Roast yourself. What knives do I recommend? Well, like my boning or filleting knife is not expensive. It's just a Victorinox. And this is the blade on it, so it's like really flexible. You can see that, which I love. But you could also buy ones that aren't as flexible, but I've always used one like this. And I think this is around $30. Dough's looking a little firm. She's a wee bit firm. There we go. You have 5 fans going, so it's like a wind tunnel. I love that. Oh yeah, for the scaling. Yeah, your chef's knife would probably be better for the scaling. You only filleted it once. There's a lot of stuff on like YouTube if you need a video to help you out with that. That's the best part about the world these days is you can find anything on the internet. If you're like, I don't know how to do this, let's just YouTube it or Google it. It's effortless. The dough's looking like a pig. I think we got that like slow knead on it right now. It'll come together though. Definitely looking at the 10-minute mark for this to mix up properly. Do I have merch? I don't. I don't have any merch yet, Hammy Tom Tom. Just the apron that is embroidered with my logo on it that I'm giving away on Friday. But nothing else yet. Like, what were you thinking of? Okay, so we can start to get the fish broth going right now as well. So I'm going to do it in this smaller pot, I think. I have a ton of bones. And we're not going to roast the bones off at all. That's the thing with fish stock is you don't really need to get any color on it because you want it to be nice and light. So we'll put that in. There's the collar and the backbone there and the skin. You'd buy a snapback? What? That'd be awesome. Hammy, well, I think you might already be entered into the giveaway because the giveaway is for subscribers to the channel. So as long as you've subbed in the month of June, then you're entered into the giveaway. Whether it's a Prime sub or a paid sub, either one works. So yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, you can enter for free if you want, because this apron is worth close to $200. Oh, Nerves! Hello! How are you? And Steampunk! Steve, that's what you think? Just my face on it saying, amazing. Amazing. Okay, let's get back to this. Go, dough, go. We are developing the gluten right now, guys. Okay, so other things going into our stock pot here is some salmon belly. Hell yeah. Just some salmon trim. Boom. That is it for that. So there's quite a bit of meat in Oh my god, this thing is like getting so squeaky, hey? Do your work. Let's go. Or macarons saying, yeah, impossible. Those are great ideas. You need to get yourself a knife set. Every one of your knives don't make a ding sound when you tap them, except the cook's knife. A ding sound. Whoa! What's going on over there? Oh, you're going to Paris in 2 weeks? Yeah, you have to have some macarons. Okay, maybe I'll get some merch made up then. If that's what you guys want. Our dough is getting there. I would say it's about 60% there. So let's fill this pot just with enough cold water to cover our fish. You want cold water just so it stays clear. Okay, so we'll bring this up to a simmer and then turn it down. Low. You've never seen a mixer like this? It is from Sweden. It's expensive, but worth it. I just got sick of the KitchenAid not working very well. And then one of our reps from the restaurant when we worked there still told us about this guy. And it works so good, honestly. Even though like sometimes you have to help it a little bit, I think it's still better than the KitchenAid by far. It's not as loud. Posh's face saying doggo. And she was such a good doggo this morning. She was like laid with me on the couch the whole morning. Okay, so this dough is starting to get more smooth. That's how we know we're almost there. And we'll do the window test to make sure that we developed enough gluten. And then we'll put this to rise in a nice warm place. So I think I'm just going to quickly turn on the oven to warm it up a bit. And then I'll turn it off so it's not too hot, and then we'll proof the bread in there. So there's nowhere really warm in my house right now. Like I have all the windows open. What is this thing doing? Her mommy mask. Tasha's little grandma mask. I like that one, Steve, yeah. I know how to use a knife. Watch out, trolls. Okay, let's see. Let us see this. Just gonna come over. You want to give her a hug? Oh, she would love that. She loves hugs. I think think that just needs a little bit of kneading by hand to bring it together, but I think we're good. It's looking good. Let's just form a ball. Magic bread. What is the machine doing? We're making bread dough. It's doing all the work for me, so I don't have to do this. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That looks smooth enough. Okay, so now I can just take those attachment parts off the mixer. So this is the best part, is the spatula just comes off. And the dough hook as well just slides out. And then that goes in here, and it comes with a lid, which is so nice. So that's also why I love this mixer, because everything's just kind of built into it. And then this, I'm sure the oven is already warm enough. It is. So turn it off. I have to take a rack out. To fit that in. And then this can go in the oven and we'll see it in 1 hour. 1 hour. So leave that propped for a second. Look at the fish broth's already going like cloudy. Is Posh a lazy or hyper dog? She can be both. Like, when she gets going, she is nuts. Like, you would never know that she's 11 years old. But like I said, this whole morning, because I was mostly doing paperwork all morning, she just sat beside me on the couch and just slept the whole morning. August 1st? I thought it was in October. Tris, I don't know. I don't even know what's going on anymore with the legalization. Seems like they can't really make up their minds. Okay, that is perfect. So now let's set a 60-minute timer. And then we can check the dough at that point. Yay. Yeah, 1 hour. I know, Matt. Oh, you're not even going to be able to see it. Dang. Well, I don't know if you guys are on Instagram, but that's where I always post the dishes when they're done. Or you can watch the vid tomorrow at some point. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to eat this tonight. It's seafood 2 days in a row. Oh yeah. That's why I love living out here, guys. Just giving my mixer a little clean right now. Clearing the area. And then we can start to prep the stuff for the chowder. Rook is back. Oh, you saw the news 2 weeks ago. I think it said October 17th that recreational will be legal. Guys, how bad is that sawing noise? Do I need to close the window or is it okay? It's good? Okay. I'm guessing they're like cutting baseboards or something. Who knows? chopping some veg. So I got 1 onion, and I was able to find Vidalia onions at the store. So that's what I got this time in the bag. 3 stalks of celery and 1 carrot is going to be the base for the soup, as well as a couple cloves of garlic. Oh, thanks, Steve. Yeah, that's where we, that was my view while eating dinner last night. So it's called Fisherman's Wharf. And everything where we ate, like, it was all floating on the water, which is really cool. So we ate at the floating fish store. I love going down there. And instead of paying $38 to eat a dozen oysters, we only paid $12 because we went for buck-a-shuck at 4. I was supposed to work till 5, but I got off at 2 because I just got everything done early. So I was like, yeah. Was Sammy romantic? Nah, he just picked me up from work and he's like, I'm taking you out for dinner. I was like, I'm in. So we don't want any of these leaves in there because they can get a little bit bitter. But in some instances, they are good to use to like garnish a dish. Just gonna give this a quick rinse as well. He didn't want to have to cook. Well, he cooks for me Saturdays, and yeah, Sunday we typically go out. So it was either like sushi or oysters yesterday. We decided on oysters. We've had a hankering. You wouldn't want to try and keep up with this cooking genius. What are you talking about? Okay, so just cut those in half so they're a more manageable size to work with. And let's go by the size of this. So I said small dice in the recipe. So let's go nice and small. Let's work on our knife skills today a little bit. But this also means that we'll have to cut the onions and the carrots to the same size. Just a little touch up on this blade for a sec. I've been using it at worky. Forgot what kind of difference that makes on the knives. How do you cut an onion the long way? I would say this way. So if you ever look at an onion skin, it also has lines in it. So that is the long way, I would say. That's the way I always cut it as well. Does it seriously say that in a recipe? That is terrible instructions. Problemo, Matt. Okay, take all those over. Make a nice stack. Line up your ends. And do some chopping. Nice consistent pieces. You usually just dice everything. Oh yeah. Why that one's sticking. been watching Good Eats at night lately, and Alton made baklava on one of the episodes. So Sammy wants baklava now, and it is so not good for you. Like, all it is the pastry, butter, sugar, and nuts, which is why it tastes so delicious. Professional tactics. I would say so. I guess so, Matt. I mean, this is how I've been taught, right? And I guess I'm taught this way for a reason. And I always like to use a little bit more celery in the chowder compared to carrot in this instance. So that's why I only have 1 carrot. I'm doing it right in my own way. There are so many different ways to do something, so never feel like there is a wrong way. I just think there's a lot of different right ways. Let's peel this guy up. Usually cut the carrot into thirds. And then have it. You never peel the carrot. Crazy. Paul's Chowder. Chowder. I'm pumped. How's it going, Pauls? What could you make for a 2-person dinner? You and your gran. Amazing. Using anything at the store. You should make chicken and dumpling soup. That's what I think of when I think of a dinner with a grandma. And not in a bad way. Like, chicken and dumpling soup is so good. Okay, so there's our carrots. Soup for old people is great. Exactly. All the nutrients in the dirt, Jokery. You normally don't peel the carrots either unless it's looking pretty scuzzy. I'm impressed, guys. Way less waste. The carrots that I've been prepping at work, all we do is like wipe them off with a cloth because they're so nice. Like, the skin is not tough at all. But these ones, I find that the skin is pretty tough. Okay. Starting the mirepoix. Hello, Harry. How are you? Thank you for the Friday cook. Your most likely day to be on. Well, that's perfect. I mean, I paired it with the short ribs just because it's a braised dish, so there's nothing too crazy involved in cooking on Friday. So I thought that would be an awesome day to make your dessert, Rook. And also, it's giveaway day, so it's going to be a pretty awesome stream, I think. Dirt is special seasoning. I mean, to some people. I could not be that chef that serves dirt. Like, to make people pay for that, it does not make sense to me. You can get dirt anywhere for free. Seen a video with our favorite chef, and the way he cut a bell pepper was amazing. He cut the top off and pulled the inside out and used the top to balance the bell pepper and cut it. What? That's crazy, Trist. Okay, so small dice the onion too. Just gonna turn it around. I just follow the natural curve in the onion and the lines. Whew, that's strong. For a sweet onion. That burns, guys. Polish, you got the afternoon in at work, which is great. Because you never made it all last week. Oh no. You just made some marinara. That sounds like a great day. I love making pasta sauce. It's like, I'll see you in a couple hours. What's the chicken? What is chicken and dumpling soup? It is so classic. Sorry, I just have to walk away for a sec because my eyes are gonna burn out of my head. It hurts. Waterworks is coming. Okay, I'll be okay. So I have a recipe for the chicken and dumpling soup, but it's in PDF, so I don't know how to send it to you, Hammy. I don't know if you have Discord, but I could easily send it to you on there. It's so easy. Have fan, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Yeah, why don't I go and cry about it? It's true, Rook. Just being a crybaby. Man, I wasn't even cutting onions at work the other day and my eyes were like watering from one of the guys cutting onions in front of me. I was like, seriously? Matt just gives them the recipe in chat. Love it. Do it up, Hammy. Yeah, just betray Matt. It's fine. It's not even my recipe, though. It's from my brewmaster. It's like 100 years old. His family recipe. Okay, next up, let's get some garlic cloves. I'm going to do 3. 3 larger ones, so I don't know what size these are going to be. Yeah, crying for joy, Trist. Just so happy. Yeah, I could. I could, Hammy. Let's do... Yeah, we'll do 4 of these cloves of garlic. They're not huge. These are Sam's mom's that she sent me. From Ontario. Hammy, are you in our Discord yet or not? There's the link to it. And then at least I'll know what your username is so I can send you the recipe. So smash our garlic first so it's easy to peel. Two minutes. Sounds good. You guys can see our stock is like not even simmering at all. It's just warming slowly, which is great for that fish. And then fish stock doesn't take as long as a beef or chicken stock to make. So typically within like half an hour or 40 minutes, it's done. Oh man, Polish, I have so much stuff growing outside. And I just did my 1 month comparison photos today of the garden this morning. Everything's doing really good. I'm just gonna wash my hands and I'll tell you what I got going on. So in the boxes, the one box we have broad beans, bush beans, multicolored, so they're going to be purple and green, cucumbers and bok choy, And then the other box, we have carrots, beets, Brussels sprouts, and eggplant. And the other box, peas, Swiss chard, spinach, kale, and lettuce. And radishes. Sorry, I almost forgot those too. Yeah, I hate chopping garlic. It's so sticky. That's why I always wash my hands right away. I have drugs, Matt. Yeah, not yet. Whenever it's legal, though, for sure. I'm down. You got your basil growing now and just planted some mesclun mix in a pot you found in the yard. Nice. Yeah, we have so much stuff. I have like 5 pepper plants, 4 pots of potatoes, 3 pots of tomatoes, 4 things of strawberries. It's insanity here right now. Took me a good couple hours today to do my gardening work. Okay, so next up. So I said 4 cups of potatoes shredded for this if you're not using up any mashed potatoes or stuff like that. And then also 2 cups of peas. You guys can use frozen, but we've been getting these nice fresh English peas. And they're really nice, so I'll just leave those until later. These will go in at the end of the cook time on the soup. This will go in with the fish because they only take a couple minutes to cook. So those can just be set aside for now. We don't have to do anything at all. And next up, so 4 cups of milk. And then I said around 8 cups of fish stock or vegetable stock, maybe, if that's needed. We'll see how much we need for the soup, but definitely a liter of milk. And a 1/4 cup of white wine will make your chowder amazing. Let's get our milk, measure out some wine, and then we just have to chop up some dill and chives. And our soup is pretty much good to go. We do have to cut up the fish a little bit too. The peas look like gumballs. Yeah, almost. Oh, no problem, Hammy. I was just waiting for you to get in there. I'll send it to you right now. Just give me a sec, guys. I think your gram will love this soup. And of course, because I'm trying to get on Discord, it's not opening the page for me. How about you don't, MacBook? No problemo. He wanted his car fixed, but instead you get a hug. That's very nice of you, Steve. Hey, Karen, how are you? How are things? Okay, honestly. Now it says I have no internet connection. Like, what is going on right now? Obviously, I have internet connection if I'm streaming. I swear this crap book just pushes my buttons, guys. Just trying to slow me down. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Okay, 1 second. Not impressed right now. everyone been eating today? What kind of goods we got going on? Hey, there we go. It's working. Reviving dead memes, that's right. That is what family is for, yeah, exactly. Chicken and dumpling soup. It has been sent, Hammy. You are well on your way to making some delicious soup. Okay, let's get this mass amount of wine measured out. You were able to log into Discord. I don't know what it is. Sometimes my Mac just like drops the internet connection. It's a little bit of a piss off, I will say that. Especially when I need to do something, right? Rush would be here, but he's modding for Chef. Oh, no problem. Well, thanks for being here instead. I appreciate that. And I hope everything is good with Thomas. Oh, it's way easier as a PDF. Yeah, just put it in chat. What? Okay, 1 liter of milk. And I just want to use milk so it's a little bit less fattening than cream. And that's why I'm putting stock as well. I don't like my chowder to be too heavy. Like, you still want to know that there's fish and everything else in it. Yeah, look at all that wine. Karen, how are you? Okay, so that's pretty much the basis. Like I said, we just need to chop up some dill and chives real quick. See, the temp in here is perfect. So here's the dill that I just picked from the garden earlier. Am I making only one bread bowl? No, I'm making 5 small ones. Or it says it's supposed to make 5, 4 or 5. So I'll do them individual style, Trist. You're just fine. That doesn't sound very exciting. It takes a day to make. I could probably simplify that recipe for you. Or you can just buy a rotisserie chicken. That's way easier to do than try and like cook it yourself. I'm doing it good, Karen. Can't believe it's Monday, but I've started my week off well. Set myself up for success, got all of my stream planning stuff done already for the week. So that gives me a little bit more free time to do some other stuff in between work and such. Oh yeah, slow cooker, way easier. Yeah, put that chicken in the slow cooker and you just pull it and then you can use it for the soup. So easy. So the chives are going to be used for garnish, but the dill is going to go into the soup at the end as well, with the peas and the fish, just so it stays nice and fresh tasting. Yeah, rotisserie chicken would work. That is like one of the easiest ways to do it. I wouldn't say that's cheating either. I mean, it just really helps if you're under a little bit of a time constraint, that's for sure. Is that rosemary? No, it was dill. Dill is really nice to use with seafood. Just picking out the not so nice chives in here. It totally is cheating, but who cares? Yeah, fake it till you make it. That's what I always say. Man, if someone says that you're cheating if you cook them dinner or any type of meal, I'd be like, well, you don't deserve this meal then. Everything takes effort. Just they did the hard part for you already. So we're just gonna chop the chives nice and fine. A nice little garnish for the soup later. And I'm not using any pork in the chowder today. I just want it to taste nice and clean. Just seafood based. But don't get me wrong, I do love putting bacon in chowder. I just think that's like a big crutch for people to use to make the chowder taste better. Like, why not let the seafood speak for itself if it's nice and fresh? That's how you've had 5 girlfriends already. Oh my god. Okay, there is our little garnish. We don't need a ton of them, but they are a lot nicer in flavor than a green onion, which is pretty strong, I would say, compared to a chive. Okay. So herbs have been dealt with. We have half an hour left on our bread to rise, so we're halfway there. And I think our next step is just straining our stock, our fish stock, pulling the meat off, getting that ready, and then prepping this stuff for our salad. How does that sound, guys? You have 5 hours? You could easily make the chicken and dumpling soup in 5 hours. A secret recipe. What's up, Indognito and Optrix? How are you guys doing today? Okay, I'm gonna remove this stuff from my cutting board. Just because it's taking up space. That way we can chop more veggies. And it's okay if you mix this all together, because it's going to be cooked together anyways. Slow cooker beef stew. So good. Harry, you're back. Woohoo! Just finishing washing some half-liter bottles for beer. We have a total of 180 bottles washed. You've been doing some work today, Annie. I like it. So what are you going to be bottling them? I guess that's the most important question. Yeah, Trist is back. What is chowder, Karen? This is an American soup that uses seafood, so typically clams, and it has a milk or cream base, and it always has potatoes in it to thicken it. And then I like to put peas or corn in mine as well, so we're putting peas today. And then the basis of it is still just carrots, onions, celery, and garlic. So that's what we've prepped so far. So next up, I think we'll get into the corn. Let's get corny. She makes something pretty much the same, Hammy. That's awesome. Well, now you can do your variation for her. Nah, Matt. Chowder originated in the eastern states, where they have all that lovely seafood. You're planning an Irish red ale. Yum. That was one of the first beers that was brewed when Sam and I worked at the brewery. Was a red ale. It's called Hollow Tree. It's really good. Just picking the hairs off of our corn before we cut it. So we don't want those hairs in with the corn while we roast because they typically just burn. Not the greatest thing. Boston is known for the chowder. Yeah, exactly. That's the style we're making today, is the Boston or New England style, which is more creamy. Got a froggy. What was the magical food my mom made that was her specialty? That's a hard one, Tris. Like, she definitely had a good couple of go-tos. But she didn't usually make anything too crazy on the weekdays. Like, typically Sunday dinners was always a thing where she'd do something that took longer, like spaghetti and meatballs or a chili or even a beef stew like you guys are talking about. But like, she wouldn't slow cook it. She'd actually do it in a pot and do it properly. And then typically during the week, I mean, she worked until dinner time usually, so we'd only do something pretty quick, like half-an-hour meals usually. I don't know if she really has a specialty though. You're calling it Finnegan Red Ale in honor of James Joyce. That's so awesome. Watch my words. What? You used to like it when Mom made puree. Indian bread. Because you wanted to see it poof up in the hot cooking oil. See, like, I've never seen that kind of stuff. And I have to say, like, she didn't really make too many, like, weird things from cuisines like that. It was much later on when we started to really experiment with those different flavors. So I guess mostly I grew up on, like, American style food. Okay, so now we have to cut the kernels off of our corn. You said cook on the stove properly. Yeah, I probably say things weird sometimes. I'm trying though. Maybe that means I need to start reading more. Bye, Hammy. Good luck with everything. There's always been a rival of either white or red clam chowder. I believe it, Tris. Like, some people are so stuck in their ways. So just cut along the cob here, but you don't want to go too deep because it does get a little bit woody and you don't want that part on the kernel. But you do easily feel it as you go down when you start to hit that part. So just go nice and slow and you'll get the hang of it. typically like to fly everywhere when you cut it like this. But I think this is still a better way to do the corn roasted compared to using frozen kernels. Just because the frozen kernels will take so much longer to roast because there's a lot more water stuck in there still. Whereas this is nice and fresh. The best corn is when it's cut off. You don't like eating it on the cob, Tris? You love woody kernels. I doubt that. They are hard to eat. Posh is gonna have some corn to clean up though, that's for sure. Dog vacuum needs to come in here pretty soon. That's way too much corn. Yeah, I'm not gonna cut all these, I don't think. I'll probably do half. But I thought this was a good salad to pair with the chowder just because sometimes people like to put corn in their chowders. So instead of me putting corn in, I'm putting it in the side dish. Have I ever had elote? Yeah, it's so good, Thunder. You're from Iowa. You can walk 5 feet and get corn. We have corn growing at the farm right now, but it's definitely not ready yet. It's still super small. Soon, though, I'm thinking. Pretty soon. It adds a lot of fiber and keeps you regular. Good to know. Okay, just cleaning up my mess here. I know this looks like a lot of corn, but when it roasts up, it also loses about half of its size. So I think I'm just gonna roast it all. I'm not opposed to having extra roasted corn kernels for salads for lunch. I think that's gonna be perfect. You hate eating it off the cob. So it just gets stuck in your teeth, hey? Yeah, they slather mayo on it with cheese and chili. So simple and so good. It's not special to you. It's one of the few healthy foods you eat. Oh, Miracle Whip. I can't do it, Rook. Should not be a thing.
What?
Miracle Whip.
See?
See?
It's not eggs.
Is it even made with eggs? Who knows?
I think it is now.
You're a meat and potato kind of guy. Mainly a carnivore. Savage, Matt. Yeah, that's totally like my dad. I can honestly say I'm trying to watch my meat consumption a lot more. I'm trying to not just base all of my meals around the protein. just because there are so many amazing vegetables out there. And if you cook them right, they can be really tasty. And you don't just have to eat them because you have to, but I eat them because I actually enjoy eating vegetables. Okay, that's all of our corn. So, next, I'm just gonna get a sheet pan with some parchment. Spread that over. You're thinking of Cool Whip? Oh, thunder. Yeah. Miracle Whip is not whipped cream. Cool Whip. I'm a vegan after all. Not even. Just trying to be a little bit more friendly to the environment. Once you realize like how hard it is on the environment to actually raise animals to eat, you will hopefully see it a little bit differently. There's massive amounts of pollution. Hey Buff, you made it in, man. How are you? You enjoy eating any food because you're fat. Well, maybe you don't enjoy food because you're fat. You just like food, and that is okay. Getting real corny up in here. You've had bear once? Can't say I've ever had the option to eat bear, but I would probably try it. Okay, I'm gonna turn this fish broth off. Push that piece in there. Maybe even flip it over. We got a mess. The peppers will be much easier to process than the corn. Corn is just so messy. We got 15 minutes until we make our little bread bowls. You eat one meal a day. The rest of your calories are reserved for vodka. That's intense. I could not do that. Need like at least 3 or 4 meals. Camera's insane. Yeah, Buff, that's a different kind of bear. There should be a law. You can only eat an animal you've caught and killed with your bare hands. I like it. How about them apples? Yeah, if the world went back to that, so many people would be vegetarian because there's no way that they would be able to catch the animals to feed themselves. So there's that. Just consumerism is just insane these days. It's like there's everything available at any time that you want it. And I think that's slowly probably going to end the world, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. Okay, that's all spread out. It's like pretty much one layer, which will roast up just fine. You don't want it too much thicker than that because then it won't really roast and brown. It will more just like steam, which is not the point of this. So we're just going to dress this with a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, keeping it simple. survive on snake and fish and insects, and of course veggies and fruits. And they're not Crocs. They're Birkenstocks. They're my kitchen clogs. So they save me from like any burns or knives dropping on my feet. It's a thing. Definitely way more expensive than Crocs. But if you think they're funny, that is fine. I think they're lovely. So we won't toss this around just yet. We'll roast it for a little bit and then toss it around to cover it in oil. Once the juices start getting released. And I like my corn pretty peppery. That is so cool, Matt. Yeah, that's one thing I want to do is to learn how to hunt. I mean, Sammy's family is into it, like big time. His dad runs an archery club out in Ontario. And I did do some shooting when I was out there, and it was really fun. I think I'd enjoy it. I really respect that. I think that's a good skill to have. I don't think it's cruel at all. Okay, there's our corn all prepped up. And next up, we are going to strain the fish broth. You cook barefoot, you like the risk of injury. You live life dangerously. Okay, I'm just gonna get this corn out of here. Just make a little pile for Posh for whenever she comes down. I just don't want to keep stepping in it. Pile of corn for the dog to eat. No corn in the Crocs, guys. Done. Once the juices start getting released. The best line to walk in on. I should have done this the other way though. Okay, I'm gonna pour this into this pot first and then pour it back in. Because this is gonna be the chowder pot because it's bigger. You'll see what I mean when I'm done doing my fooling around here. Just don't want this to splash. Oh God, ready for the drop. There we go. Yum. How was work this weekend? It was really good. Saturday was fun. The restaurant was full, so we actually ended up turning people away, which is great. And I learned how to plate some charcuterie boards and oysters. And yeah, it definitely wasn't boring. Really fun day. And Sunday, I got off like 3 hours early, so I got to actually enjoy the day with Sammy still. We went downtown to the wharf, ate some seafood. What kind of fish did I use? There's cod and salmon in here to make the broth. Just scraps, but we are going to reuse the meat. Okay, so that's what I needed. Now I'm just going to rinse out that pot so it's clean. Because we're going to be putting oil into there to saute the veg. You don't want any type of liquid that's going to stick, or even any fish bits, because that can burn on. So we got a clean pot again. Let's see how much stock did we get. Probably 2 liters or around there. It looks nice. And then like I said, once this fish cools off a bit more, we can pull all the meat off of there. And we'll put it back into the chowder. Chowder. Looks positively horrifying, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Cooking in the true light. None of that fake-ish. Okay, we got 7 minutes on the bread. Oh, it's super fishy. Yeah, it smells really nice. I wouldn't say it like smells really fishy. It just smells like seafood, like delicious. I will use clams, but they're not, like I didn't get any still in the shell. We just picked up some canned ones. So just canned baby clams that are whole. I'm guessing they are little necks, just judging by the picture there. And then we also have a can of crab to go in. Can I get Sammy the Beard to get online? He's still working. They are still working, but whenever he's done, I'm sure he'll be here. Sammy the Beard. Is that a dragon? No, that's my boyfriend. Canned clams. Woohoo! I mean, we didn't really plan on going to the wharf yesterday. And we already had bought the clams, so next time I make chowder, I'll get some nice little necks from the wharf. It's okay, Buff. I've had this product before. It's actually really nice. I am not opposed to it. Plus, not everyone has access to fresh clams like I do, so I still have to make it reasonable for you guys to be able to make this again. Gordon would lose his shit. Gordon can come see me whenever he wants. We can have a chat. Okay, so the corn has been prepped for the salad to roast. And the next thing we have to prep to roast is the bell peppers. So let's get our other sheet pan out. And I suppose we also need the sheet pan for the bread, for little bread bowls. So I'll get both of those out. We'll prep them with parchment. Him and his forehead. You are bad. Their interviews are classic. I like Gordon. He's a lot nicer than people really think. Okay, so now let's maybe just clear this area a little bit. We're gonna be doing some bread dividing. So we definitely don't need the cutting board in here. Gordon couldn't handle Twitch cooking. Oh man, he would lose it. Like any trolls, it would be epic though. His meltdown videos are just too good. Oh look, another kernel of corn hiding there. Are we sick of corn yet? Gordon's not very good to watch for picking up cooking. I mean, he works really fast. That's the thing. But I like that. Like, for me to pick it up, that's awesome. But for a regular person that's not a chef, per se, I think he moves a little bit too fast and doesn't explain stuff enough. But to each their own. I'm not going to bash him, that's for sure. He's done so well for himself. For general food safety. I love how you guys pick up on all this stuff. That's really awesome. Okay, I'm going to stop this timer. Check on our dough. It's time. What's up, MILF? How's the gaming going? You playing Fortnite already? Yeah, Ramsey. It's true, Rook. Yeah, that's how I feel. Corn goes in as it does out. Yeah. Just reminds me of Fat Bastard. Nice. Okay, so that's doubled. Our dough looks good. It's nice and fluffy. Our fingerprint marks just stay in there. He has his own channel. No. We were saying, Matt, that he wouldn't be able to handle Twitch cooking. It's so fluffy. Here we go. The dough, baby. I'm gonna get some water into this before it gets all stuck on. Like so. And I think we're just gonna divide this into 4. Because that's gonna double again, but it's still not that much dough. So I think these bread bowls are pretty small. We're not even close to his level. You've been cooking a lot of soda bread. That's one thing I don't think I've ever made. So we got 4 equal pieces. He would most likely ignore it. Like 100% of big streamers. Yeah, it's so true. I don't want to be like that. Like, I always want to be involved in what's going on. Like, isn't that the point of streaming? Is to pay attention to the people who are watching you? Okay, so now we just have to make, like, small little round loaves of bread. So maybe use the bun method, but it's not super sticky, this dough. So all I'm gonna do is keep folding the dough underneath of itself until we get a nice smooth surface and a small seam on the bottom. The seam is that guy, so that's pretty big still. I think I'll just try and push it down a bit and get rid of that, but that always needs to go on the bottom. So something like that is totally okay. And then I'm just gonna put it onto our baking pan. Make sure you space them out nicely as well. So maybe I'll go there, 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 and there. So they're kind of offset. Oh, Matt, Gordon is for sure one of my faves. I like him. I mean, for a TV personality, he's super entertaining. I don't know who Adam Richmond is, I don't think, Rook. He can't even find the lamb sauce. Loser has to eat the winner's meal. I love that. I love how that's the punishment. It's like you have to eat the food that I cooked. I would love if Gordon knocked on my door and started yelling at me. I would just give it right back to him. Yeah, Rook, I mean, Sam and I have been recording all of the good eats, so that's what we watch typically at nighttime. Either that or Brooklyn Nine-Nine right now. But yeah, we've been watching good eats. One of the ones last night, he made baklava, and now I really want to make baklava. Thanks for following, Drun. Welcome in. I don't know if I've ever watched Man vs. Food. Okay. There's our last bread bowl. So like I said, this should at least double in size before we go to bake it. But just to make sure that they don't dry off or dry out too much, I'm just going to cover them with a tea towel. And that has to go back into a warm place. So the stovetop is warm here, so I'm going to use that. I don't want to put it back into the oven just because we have to start roasting off the veg. But once the veg is done, then for sure we can put it back in there for like the last 10, let's say, depending on the timings. Sammy said not to mess with me. Gordon would run for the hills. Nah, it'd be a good fight. We'd work it out. You were thinking of making baklava today. You worked from home. Dang. You made malabi custard. You love this towel. This is one of Betty's like really old towels. I have an even better one though that Sam found for me. Surprisingly, are you ready for this? This was at Walmart. It's awesome. It has like all of these food utensils on it. I love it. I actually think I want to get it framed and put it up in the kitchen. Like iron it out properly. These are all of the things that I use quite often. The towel's almost like my shirt. Yeah, kind of, hey? You like my shirt. Thanks, guys. I do love The Simpsons. That's what I grew up with. Okay, so let's turn our oven on to, I think, really high heat, like 450. Because we want to also char the corn. We don't just want to roast it. We need to get some nice color on there. And then we have an hour left on these buns. So I'll set that last hour. We don't have to time the corn at all, I don't think. I'll just watch it closely. And we are set. Your mom could use it. She cuts everything with a boning knife. I love that. It's such a rarity for a mom to even have a boning knife. Your mom is pretty cool, Elvin. Okay, let's prep up the peppers while our fish is still cooling off a bit. That way they're ready to roast. You use the same knife you used in Nam. Hey kitten, how are you? How is Betty Boop? She's good. She has been doing good, Trist. Let's do one more. Look at this little guy. Now let's do some processing. Miss Obvious, your stepdad uses a carpet cutting knife in the kitchen. Hilarious. Oh, someone's phoning me. I have no idea who it is. Gots to leave a message. Gross. Peppers. These ones are really nice and sweet. Especially when you roast them. Matt, you don't like peppers at all? See, I don't really like green peppers, but any of the sweet varieties I really like. Whether it's raw or cooked, I am in. Kitten, you're good. You're just hungry and currently finishing up grilling chicken burgers. Nice. Well, you'll be eating soon then. I like when the peppers grow inside of a pepper. It's like, what was happening in there? Craziness. You dislike peppers altogether. Dang, dude. I mean, fair enough. I still find it really interesting how everyone's palate is so different like that. I cut it interesting. I don't know, I really like cutting it like this because then I don't get too many seeds in the mix. I hate cleaning the pepper seeds out. So this way, I just cut along the core. And then you don't really get anything at all. I mean, obviously you get that little bit of waste on the top there. So if you're really picky, then you can cut it off. Your mom would shout at you. Which way do you cut it then, Buff? You do top and bottom, and then you cut the core out? You're gonna take pics and send them? Yeah, post them in Discord. We wanna see that stuff. So we're gonna cut these nice and bite-sized, like that. Cut them lengthwise first, and then we'll cut them down into the cubes. Let's say 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch thickness. Obviously something like that is still usable. You know how to cook with so many ingredients, but you refuse to eat them. Well, as long as you still cook with them, that's fine. It smells amazing. I bet, kitten. I can't wait to start making the chowder because I know it's going to start to smell so good in here. Jay, you love chowder. What seafood am I adding? So today I'm adding cod, a little bit of salmon trim that we had, some clams, and crab. Hey Lemon, how are you? How was the weekend? I think these little pepper pieces I'm just gonna snack on probably. Matt, you're leaving soon. You'll try and jump on as soon as you're home. Sounds good. I mean, I'll be here for the next hour and a half. You love tomato paste, but absolutely hate tomatoes. So you use tactics like that. Well, I like that you're still able to eat the tomato, though. And you figured out what works for you. At least you didn't just give up on it. Because, yeah, tomatoes are amazing. I absolutely love any type of tomato. Probably my favorite, I know I would say it's not a vegetable, but my favorite vegetable. Lemon, you're well. Pretty relaxed weekend. Went to a garden fair. Yay. That's awesome. Good weekend at work. Yeah. Busy days. Like, they go by really fast, which I love because I never get bored at all. And yeah, Chef and the guys are super chill. Really awesome to work with. I think I have found my new home. It's everything that a restaurant should be. It just runs properly. And there's no stress. We just go in, cook, and that's it. Like, typically when I worked in restaurants, there'd at least be like one thing wrong. One thing that went wrong every day. But so far, nothing big has went wrong, so I think I am set there. Trist, you have a suggestion. How about making a calzone? Oh my goodness. Yes. I haven't made that yet. No. It just reminds me of Parks and Rec. Okay, we got 6 minutes left on our oven preheating, so we're doing good. And keep in mind, guys, these peppers, when they roast up, they're gonna shrink as well. So always use a little bit more than you think you need. Is there room to grow if that's what I want? I believe so, Lemon. I think so. I don't really plan on leaving there anytime soon, to be honest. And I think that the restaurant's just going to continue to get busier. The doggo's ready to go. Okay, have a good walk, Rook. Okay, and there's our pepper prep. Like when your dessert prep, put the ice cream in the microwave. What, Buff? Seriously? I am sad for you. Sammy has some pretty bad stories about people he's worked with too. Like straining an entire batch of beef stock down the sink. Write it down, Trist. I will. I will. I don't have my book in front of me. I haven't been using it as much. Just been doing the streams freely. Going with the flow, not writing anything down. Pushing myself to use more brain power. I don't take off the white stuff. White stuff. Like that little bit of white stuff. I mostly got it all off. So spread these out. I only want one layer as well. Boom. Still need the olive oil, salt, and pepper for this. Just plain. Like I said, we're going to flavor up our dressing with probably some spices and herbs. So let's just let the veg speak for itself. You had to fire a guy because he was finishing people's drinks after they left. Ugh. That's so bad. Yeah, I've seen servers like finish people's plates off when they bring them back and don't finish their meal. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're that desperate for food? Like, I can cook you something instead of you having to eat some random person's leftovers. Like, you're disgusting. Straight up. Hey, AOT. Yes, seafood chowder in a bread bowl. Courtesy of Trist. This is his request. And I said, hey, why not? Sounds fun. Hey, peppers are dressed as well. So both of the trays can go in at the same time. I think that's cool. Should work okay. Just maybe we'll have to rotate them halfway through the cook time. So put the top one on the bottom and vice versa. Yahtzee, how have you been? Do a lot of servers do that? Yeah. Yeah, they are so weird and gross. Like, I really have to say that. Like, they're so cheap with the money that they make. Like, they easily make double what a cook makes, and then they still eat out of other people's leftover plates. Ugh. Why? Why are you like this? Yeah, fries, okay, that's fair. But to, like, finish off someone's meal and stuff, it's, ugh, no. You shouldn't have to do that. Okay, so just over a minute to go. on our oven heating. You just bought a new recycler dab rig with bubble trap art and matching carb cap. You're gonna get high as balls tonight. I don't even know what most of those words mean. I've never done a dab. I'm like not that crazy of a pot smoker, I guess. We've got loads finishing plates off, but never drinks. Drinks are worse, yeah. Food you can understand, that's true, because people are desperate, but like Sam and I always said, if you guys, like if someone needs food that they can't afford on their own, I would way rather feed them and like have them happy and healthy than to send them home and be like, you already had your one staff meal, you don't get any more. Like we were really, really good like that. And we still save the company money. Like if your cost is good, then you should be able to take care of your staff because then they'll stay with you, right? Like you treat them like family. Okay, there's our oven. And we are gonna get into our fish. I know it's not very exciting looking, but once this is done, then we can start to make the chowder, I think. It'll be about that time. And if not, then we'll work on pickles. You smell it?
Smells it.
Sammy's sniffing through the window. You once caught an employee eating people's leftovers at a buffet? That's a good one too. I need to put my other oven rack in. I'm gonna do corn on top first and peppers underneath. Check those in, let's say 10-ish minutes. Probably once I start smelling it. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring my compost bucket over here as well. It's gonna get messy, I think. But this looks really nice. Like, we didn't overcook any of this. Like, this fat is still intact in the salmon belly, which is exactly what we want. So we just need to pull the skin off. So, so good. And honestly, even if some of the skin stays on, it's totally fine. As long as it's not too slimy. Like this stuff right here, this darker stuff, it's just kind of falling apart anyways, so I'm not too concerned, but I'm gonna leave that nice and chunky. I don't want to break it up too much. I'd rather still know what I'm eating. I am lost about what you guys are talking about right now. I got lost. You lost me. And that's okay. Yeah, fam, are you gonna finish that stroganoff or what? 'Cause I got my eye on that ish. So this is all the meat from the collar, which is really, really nice. Nice big flakes. It's not dry at all. Like, look at that. It's just coming right off the bone. Did Sammy miss 420? Yeah, he did. He's not participating today, Trist. Frank's got him working still. And just be careful with the bones is all I'm gonna say. Don't want anyone to choke, because look how thin those are and long. So flake the fish a bit, but not too much. You don't want it to be mush. Oh, at buffets, there's so much leftover food because people are just savage. They just get carried away, right? Their eyes are bigger than their stomach for sure. They think they can eat everything, but then they can't, and then it just goes to waste, which sucks. That's why buffets are not the best thing for the world. But I have to say, I do enjoy going to them every now and then. Waiters over there get zilch? Really? British people do not tend to tip. I forgot about that. Yeah, when I was in Europe, I noticed that. Here's the fins. Look how much gelatinous stuff is in there. So that all went into our stock, which is awesome. A lot of flavor in there. Some people are on barely enough to pay rent, so you can understand when they have not eaten in days. Yeah, that's true, Buff. I guess that's kind of fair looking at Vancouver too, where the cost of living is so high compared to the amount of money that a lot of us do make in the hospitality industry. It's hard, I will say that. But it always just like, it upset me to see people have to do that. Like I said, I'd rather cook them a meal than to see them have to do that. Look at the spine bone. Fun. Just coming out clean. Look at this really nice piece. To say I was definitely more of a mom figure when I worked in the kitchen. I know I seem like a hard ass, guys, but I do care a lot about people. Yeah, exactly, Buff. We said the same thing. We're like, if you need another meal, just let us know. I don't want you getting sick off of someone else's, though. Being super careful with all these bones right now. Choking hazard. Look at the amount of meat we've already gotten out of that though. This is great. And we still have 2 small fillets to cut up that are raw. Have you fed her yet?
We have.
Okay, awesome.
The schmoop's been fed.
The schmoops. She has some corn. She's vacuuming, guys. The vacuum has arrived. This is what we were waiting for.
May I? You want me to go put that away now? Or are you going to do that tomorrow?
Why are you going out right now?
I can leave right now and go do it if you would like me to.
Sure.
Okay, I will go.
Do it up.
There you go.
Several years ago, you bought a dual basin stainless steel sink in the basement, where each bin is 30 by 24, height of 12 by 5. You can fill one of the sinks with 50 bottles, and it only fills 2 layers. You also had a spray head with a flexible arm. What?
That's what we were just looking at today.
Yeah. Sam and my dad were looking at one to put into the garage. They are so good, Optrix. Oh god, I made a mistake. There was lots of bones in here. I regret this decision. Okay, maybe there wasn't too many. Yeah, I love those stainless things. I love anything stainless. Like, I would have my whole kitchen be stainless if I had a choice. You never tip, it feels awkward. I mean, that is totally up to the customer though. Like, you shouldn't tip if you feel bad about doing it. It's your money. You still have that choice. Your buddy would stare at the people that got 4 plates. Good for him. I would be one of those people too. I just shake my head when Sammy and I went to Vegas. Like, people are disgusting there. Like, just because it's an all you can eat doesn't mean you take more than you can eat. Okay, here's the fish skin. Just destruction. Just imagine working with food all day and not being able to eat. Man, story of my life. Like, every time Sam and I would make lunch when we worked together, we'd have to cook a meal for a customer, right? Because chefs don't really get breaks. And so then every time we'd go to eat, we'd just like end up eating a cold meal and be so sad about it and like bitter. But you always have to put the customer first. It's a fact. Okay, we're almost done. Done the hard part. Oh, I'm starting to smell the peppers. That means they're starting to cook now. Check those in a second when I wash my hands. You have about 3 cans of salmon in the pantry. You need to make fried salmon patties. Yeah, we have some canned salmon as well. From, believe it or not, our old hygienist's boyfriend, who is a Hattagwai native, so that's up north on the island here, is indigenous peoples, which they have amazing salmon up there. And then they can some, so there's some plain and some peppered canned salmon that we have not gotten into. I feel like it's probably like too good. Gonna be life-changing. Okay, we got a good old pile of fish to go into this soup. That's awesome. And that is why you never throw your fish bones away. Woohoo! You made a turducken equivalent for fish. Tuna stuffed with salmon, stuffed with trout, stuffed with white bait. Was it delicious though? And yeah, I totally think it would be a pain in the butt to cook. I think I would always choose cast iron. Yeah, stainless over cast iron over copper. Inception. Okay, just washing that fish hands. It's already been a half an hour since we let the bread go to proof or rise. Oh, Keatokes. You hired a plumber, so he placed the larger drain in the basement floor. Yes. The lever that is used below the sink to stop the flow of water. Fun. And I love breweries, how everything kind of comes together like that. Plus it has a removable drain. Yep. You would be eating while you cook, and then you would just get your hands slapped, Trist. There ain't no mouth and hand action when you're cooking. Yeah, you would be fired, exactly. Keep your hands out of your mouth. Keep those digits clean. You don't want no cross-contamination. But like raw veg like this, as long as you don't touch your mouth, obviously I'm cooking for my family, so I'm okay with that. But I would never do that while at work. Not a chance. Mama, you're making scallops. Yum. Oh, Tara. You're there. You had your surgery on the 20th. You're healing. Gotta do a sizz bath. Nice. I'm happy everything went well. You're lucky because you can just delegate the work onto someone else. Yep. I mean, that's one of the better perks about actually being a chef. Okay, I'm caught up on chat now. Sorry, I just had fish hands, so I did not feel like touching my mouse at that time. Rush, how are you, man? I saw Mrs. Rush was in here earlier. I loved that. Rush is in the house. Okay, bowl of seafood is going over here by the rest of our chowder prep. Let's take a peek at what's going on with our roasting veg. I think I'm just gonna get a little rotation here on our bread bowls. Okay, nice. Not too much is happening. Actually, the peppers are starting to brown just underneath. So let's just give them a little stir. Coat them in the oil. And then we'll put them back in. And I think I might put the corn onto the bottom as well, because it seems like it's cooking faster down there. And you do want a fair amount of oil when you roast veg. Otherwise it likes to just burn and dry out. So don't be afraid to oil it up nicely. This is looking good though. Already getting some color on there. I feel like the peppers will be done way before the corn just because there's a lot less of them. Bam. You were a chef at Domino's when you were 16? Yes, Rook. I love that. Sammy was always bugging me to do that actually lately. I was like, I don't want to do that. It's like, I'd get so bored, but I do like making pizza. Kitten, your burgers turned out great. Yay. You undersalted it a bit. At least you know that you undersalted it, because next time you can fix that, right? You're still growing. That is awesome, though. You're at the hospital house with a bunch of girls here. It feels like a TV show. Hilarious. That's nice that you guys can all be together, though, and recover. Help each other out. Okay. Honestly, I think we should start to make this soup. I think it's time for our light as well. So, Let's turn our big pot onto medium-high heat. I'm gonna throw in just a little bit of olive oil in the bottom there. Better than over salting, 100%. Because you can't take it out once you put it in. Did you guys hear that scratch on the door? Miss Pachiku. The neediest. Okay, so just enough olive oil to cover the bottom. Is there a little bit of liquid in there? Bam. And first thing going in is going to be our mirepoix. And I'll keep the garlic cloves out until after. Let's use... I'm not going to use a wooden spoon for this just because I don't want it to get fishy, so I'm just going to use a plastic spoon. You're taking a break after Tuesday's stream on modding for a couple of weeks just to recharge. Been doing it for a year and a half without a break? No problem, Rush. You're crazy, dude. And that's amazing. Thanks for letting me know. We're definitely going to miss you. Are you just staying away from Twitch altogether, or are you still going to be here in chat but not modding? Pouring molten salt into a large container of water results in a vapor explosion. I didn't know that, but that would be so cool to see. Tara, you're eating cookies. Yeah, you're good. You are good then. You're being well taken care of. Okay, as soon as this is hot, we'll pour the veg in to get it going. And like I said, I have a couple different potato-y things going in here. Just taking some stuff out of the freezer. So, dauphinoise, which is just baked. That's why you don't leave liquids or any water-type substance in oil. Just a baked mashed potato. Dilly baby potatoes, which will go good. And those will fall apart for sure. And lastly, some mashed potatoes. Oh my god. Watch out, world. I'm going to put the veg in before I die. That was terrifying. Okay, so here is the mashed potatoes. So that is why we haven't cut any fresh potatoes. You'll pop in, you just want to get away from it. No problem. And don't feel bad if you don't come in at all. Take as long as you need, Rush. I know you're super busy with Thomas as well. Showing a large fish tank exploding, that would be epic. Gotta stir on the corn. Saw the one side of the pan. What am I making? I'm making chowder to go into a bread bowl. This was Tristan's request. So you can see where there's no parchment, how the corn wants to stick onto the sheet pan. Hilarious. The sugars are caramelizing. What seafood am I using? So I'm using cod, salmon, clams, and crab. The crab and the clams are canned. And I find that they still have good flavor even though they're canned. And if you want to use the broth or the juice that it's in, that's up to you. But typically it's pretty strong in fish flavor. So I always taste it first and maybe just add a little bit in instead of adding it all at one time. You never roasted corn kernels like this. It's so good. Like, we're going to get a nice char on here. Let's get another stir. And we're gonna let this veg brown up a little bit as well. Yeah, corn. You love anything with fish in it. Yeah, I do love seafood as well. Seafood diet, oh yeah. Okay, let's get into the salad a little bit more. And I think I will have to go pick some greens from the garden right now. I don't have very much to use. You've always wanted to make crab cakes, but never really trusted crab out of a can. Yeah, that might not be the best thing to use for crab cakes. Just because it's so moist that it'll probably not stick together very well. Did I ever watch wrestling? No, I've not been a huge wrestling fan ever. But I can understand the appeal. Like, it's pretty entertaining. But I've never been like a huge movie or TV person to begin with though. So that kind of stuff is lost on me. Hey there, from Berlin, Germany. Hello. Welcome in. Okay, let's get our greens out. And I think I'll put a little bit of tomato in here too. Just because I love tomato. You guys know that. Just have that little bit to use up, so might as well. This guy is nice and ripe now too. Yeah, probably because I'm a girl. It makes sense. And I think our peppers are probably good to come out. Oh yeah, look at that color on there. Really nice. That's exactly what we want. So just a little bit of char. I'm gonna put those onto a little rack so they can cool off.
You're doing the corn in the porno?
What?
We're doing the corn in the porno?
Yeah. Pop in your face. Yeah, we used to roast corn like this in a wood-fired oven. And when they started roasting up and browning, they just pop in your face. Hilarious.
Or how about chestnuts?
Chestnuts. Don't even ask me about roasting chestnuts in an open fire.
Chad, ask her about roasting chestnuts in an open fire.
Thanks for the follow, Zam. I watched wrestling secretly, yeah. Maybe. No, not porno. It's called a forno. Forno oven. Oh, around Ronda Rousey. I don't even know how to say her name, but she is badass. Straight up. She's super cool. Is Sami a Zayn fan? Oh, I'm a Sami Zayn fan. I don't know any of those names. Oh yeah, getting some brown in action in here. I'll just turn this burner down a touch, more to a medium heat. I'm gonna grab the salad spinner. I'm not gonna go outside and pick the lettuce until we got some liquids in with that veg. Because I don't trust it to not burn while I'm not in here. She's in WWE now? That's cool. Will I be able to freeze the chowder? Yeah, you can. You can totally freeze the chowder. I don't know if I'll be making enough to have to freeze any, but that's always a good option. The salad shooter commercials? What's that? Okay, so this is all the mixed greens from the garden. Here's the spinach. I'll probably get a nice little mix like that as well. A second round, if you will. Harry Potter's everywhere. He loves cooking streams. Yeah, that's what he said. I like it. He just wants to learn everything. Okay, I think we can mince the garlic into here now. We're almost at the point of deglazing with the white wine. I'll just put this up for now while we keep working on the zuppa. Grabbing my handy dandy garlic press. Who's the guy in chat that lives with Kate? Yeah, Dog. Dog, the chef. Who's that guy? Scrape that off, like so, and just stir that in. You don't want to cook the garlic for too long though, because it does burn quickly when you're sauteing like this. So I'll just stir it to combine, and you should smell it start to cook right away. That nice roasty garlic smell. Let it go for around a minute, and then we'll pour the white wine in. Time to get some wine. He's still working RIP. Now he just went into the shower, so he should be here soon. He's smoking. Hasn't even yet. Okay, awesome. So there's not really too much to deglaze in here anyway, so nothing is really sticking on, but this is the time to add the white wine. Don't worry, the alcohol will cook off. Like as soon as it comes up to a boil like that, the alcohol's gone already. So we just want that flavor instead. Smells so good already. And then our milk is going in. 1 liter of milk. Just using milk because it's a little bit more healthy. A little fractional distillation. Oh yeah. You have an idea you used to do with your roommate. Get a cold bucket of water and dump it on him in the shower. You're crazy, Trist. I don't know if Sammy would like forgive me if I did that to him. I think he'd get really upset. We never really do that kind of stuff to each other. Probably for fear of what would happen afterwards. And I think now I'll pour the potatoes in. See how much that soaks up the milk kind of, and then we'll add in our fish stock. But we still want this to be a little bit thickened. Corn's getting there. Potatoes going in. And then we got 12 minutes left until it's time to bake the bread. I just need to look at what temp it bakes at. But I'm guessing somewhere around 400. Dang, this is smelling really good already, I have to say. Mashers have a little frozen chunk in there still. Okay, I'll let that go for a little bit. And I think it's time for me to just go grab a little bit of lettuce. Oh, bye, Karen. Have a wonderful night. Looks like a big slab of steak on the stove. You see a bottle of Bailey's. Yes, you do, Rush. That's for our special coffees on the weekends sometimes. Your favorite prank video is when a guy put a realistic mannequin in his bed where his girlfriend was sleeping and poked her with a broom. When she turned over and saw the stranger, she freaked out. Oh my gosh. I would lose it. You would do low blows any place? You're bad. Trist, you have fun. I like it. I think I like bananas. Probably some of those are gonna go upstairs though. But yeah, it's like we use 10 bananas a week just in our smoothies. Gold dreams to all. Death, how are you? You've been playing Fortnite. Oh, we just put the chowder together. We're getting there. And we're gonna bake our bread bowls in the next 10 minutes or so. Oh, banana bread, so good. Why wouldn't you? And this is just on a nice medium heat, so nothing crazy. And maybe we'll do one more toss around of the corn before I go outside real quick. But it should only take me a couple minutes to cut off all that lettuce. There's a lot out there. Bachelor with the raid. Welcome in, guys. How was the stream? We're just getting corny over here. Tom, what's up, man? Just bring this all in. And we'll toss it together. Some even roasting action. Hey, chef, what's up? How are my peeps? How was the weekend? This corn, I would say, is around 80% cooked of what we want it to be. So just a little bit more. I just want it to get a little bit more brown. That's about it. Yeah, the whole gang is here. It's true. What weekend? I suppose, yeah. I mean, I worked both days this weekend too. But I didn't have to open or close, so that is okay with me. Yes, chef. Homer. Except I don't know if I have Homer on here. I think I just have Bart and Krusty.
Yeah, no Homer on this. Domer.
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 Sammy the beard. He's all cleaned up. Okay, just looking at this bread recipe. So 425, perfect. We don't have to lower the temp too much. Okay, I'm just gonna pop outside clip off some salad greens and I'll be back in a minute or two. Chill out. Sit tight.
You barking at something outside? Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. No? Okay. Stay down here. Oh, it's because Kate's going outside? Go get her. She's up there. Go get her.
I'm here. What is that?
We got a package from my parents somehow.
What?
I don't know.
Presents. Okay, so I just clipped off another bag of greens. Oh yeah. Who else can do that? Garden life. Bachelor, how are you, man? The dog is sniffing her around. Who knows what she's doing? Okay, corn. She done. Bam. That's good. That looks really nice. I don't want it to shrink up too much more. So now, just cancel the oven and turn it to 425 so it'll cool down a little bit for the next 5 minutes. And then it's time to break our bread bowls. How about bake them? Then we'll break them. That's good to hear, Bachelor. What did you make on stream today if you were cooking? Okay, just going over to the sink, washing this up. Then we're going into Stellar. Spinning right out of here. We're locked in. Locked and loaded. Hello?
Can I open the box that I got?
Sure. Sure.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Do I have a choice? Ah! I don't know what's going on.
I think we're gonna have to wait. She's like, are you sure?
I don't know what's in it. Apparently Sammy can't wait though. We're headed to the future. I don't know what Sammy's doing right now. MILF. We'll get him to call you though whenever he's back. Okay. So that helps to just dry off the lettuce so that our dressing will actually stick on. Because if you leave too much water on the lettuce when you wash it, the dressing will just slide right off. Let's get our blue bowl. Good old blue salad bowl, as always. Okay, that was actually quite a bit of greens, but I'll wash up the second batch anyways. Chicken and shrimp and broccoli salad tonight. Then something else if you get hungry. That sounds good, Ruck. I love broccoli salad. I know it's very old school, but I always enjoy eating that. Especially when there's bacon involved. Just saying. Okay, and once we put the salad together, then we just have to cut up some cod fillet to go into the chowder, and we're pretty much set. You have lots of bacon and turkey bacon bits, but just wanted a fresh salad, nothing but marinated chicken and fresh pepper. Nice. So simple, so good. Okay, that's our timer for our buns. So let's check these. Oh yeah, look how good those look. Oh, I need a Sturzy here. Got some sticking action, like I knew it would happen, but I don't think it burnt. Maybe it's just the starch from the potatoes, right? It likes to stick on. Oh yeah, it's definitely not burnt. Okay, so these little bread bowls, yeah, our oven feels good, are going to bake for 20 to 25 minutes. So let's go on the lower side of the spectrum for now. And then if it needs another 5, then for sure we can add that. But how good do those look though? And this is smelling unreal, I have to say that. I just turned the heat down to like low, because we're not quite ready to cook the fish. They're a little different than buns on the tray. Yeah. We got those big buns today. Big old bunners. Definitely have a lot of lettuce now. That's okay. People need salad for lunch tomorrow as well. there's no more sticky bits on the bottom. Perfect. I just tried the corn. It's really good. And it's already cooled off. So let's just group it all together on the parchment, and then we'll just use the parchment to pour it onto the salad. Harry, yeah, it's late there. Thanks for staying this long. And have a wonderful sleep. I'm back tomorrow. Making some Korean barbecue chicken with fried rice, if that interests you. Good night. No problem, Rook. Best part about parchment sheets. Boom. What's that? Now the peppers. Tried one of those. They're nice, perfectly sweet. You're back. What's happening? We're just putting the salad together, Steve. And the chowder is pretty much good to go. I just need to add the seafood. And the bread bowls just went in the oven. Salad prep. You guys know how I like my salads. Okay, that's not sticking anymore, so we are good. Okay, next up, I'm gonna slice some of these tomatoes. A little bit of freshness into this salad, since the other veg is just roasted. Looks so good. Thanks, Steve. I think it's gonna be good. Maybe I should shut this light off, hey? I don't know what's better. That glare really bugs me though. I think that's the one pet peeve about the glass cooktop for sure. So just have the smaller tomatoes. So colorful and pretty, thanks. Yeah, I do love the roasted corn salad. It just gives really nice contrast to the greens. Yellows, oranges, and reds. It's party. The tomatoes match the peppers. This guy, I like to have it and then just take out the stem like that, because that's really hard. It's not very nice to eat. And probably just do 3 slices and then nice cubes. Put it onto your knife to lift it up. Just put that over top of the salad. Thanks, Voodoo Man. Appreciate that. Getting nice and thick. These baby potatoes, they should break down. I think they will. I'll help a little bit too. So let me just fish out a dressing. There's a little bit of the one I made last time I made this salad. I think I'm just gonna bump it up a bit with some lemon juice and olive oil. But this one has a little bit of Mexican spice flavor in it. Trist, thanks for the 100 biddies, man. And since our oil is too cold, I'm just gonna pop that in Chef Mike for a sec. So I can mix this together. This shouldn't take more than 10 seconds to melt that oil. I'm just gonna shake this up and give it a taste and see what it needs. It's a shun, yeah it is. What ingredients am I using for flavor? So, yeah, who are you talking to? You, Annie. It's all you. Okay, so obviously this is vinaigrette based. It's not creamy. We have enough dairy products going into the chowder, I would say. Okay, that's pretty astringent or acidic. Definitely gonna put a little bit of olive oil into here. And maybe some lemon zest. But the other spices, they're not overpowering. I believe I put cumin and coriander into this last time, but I'm not getting a huge flavor from that, which is good. I think that's a good thing. Let's just zest up the other half of this lemon to go in. And I think that will go really nice with the chowder. And we might need a little bit of sweetness as well. Voodoo Man, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. We're using a small amount of roasted barley to give it a nice red color. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna mix this up first and then see if it still needs sweetness. Ooh. Hi. Yeah, brewing is so simple. It's very similar to baking, I would say. Like the ingredients are simple, but the process is, you have to watch very carefully, right? I actually think that's perfect now. So I just need that little bit of lemon. I'm happy with that. Okay, that is it for salad. Super simple. Let's not go too crazy with it. Just put that aside for now. Ta-da! We have 9 minutes on our bread bowls. So soon. They look so good. So good. Okay, plastic cutting board for our cod. The cod father. And then I just have this container here, which I believe there is a bone or a couple bones in here still. So we still have to take that apart too and put it into the other bowl. But first, we will cut this up. This is the tail end that I filleted and cleaned. Not the best for serving for like a really nice pan-fried dinner, but great to put into a chowder. I will say that. So let's just do bite-sized pieces. Don't make it awkward to eat, that's for sure. I'm gonna have that first. And then one slice there, one there. Do stuff like that. So as long as it fits on a spoon nicely and into your mouth, that's all that really matters when you're eating a soup. Nice. Hops are gross. To some people, I suppose. That's what makes beer really good. How's the job? It's going good, Rush. It's going really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. I've found my happy place. Yeah, I was pretty wary going back to work in a kitchen again just because the last time I had a really bad experience. Like, I will say that. Like, it was really good the first year, but then the last 2 years, we just, like, worked way too hard and have nothing really to show for it. Like, it sucks being taken advantage of like that, but that is not going to happen where I'm at, so I'm really, really happy. Pretty blessed feeling, that's for sure. This is cod, Steve. So remember when I filleted it on stream? And this is from Osrix's fish that he requested. So we're using it up today to make the chowder. The chowder. You have the same knife. Yay, Lidl. That is so cool. Do you love this knife as much as I love mine? Okay, lastly, just gotta take some bones out of this stuff. So they're pretty big. But we can just break it up with our hands. And this is the cod that was left over from when we baked it whole, or stuffed it and baked it. So it's really, really nice and flaky. Okay, there's a bone. They are a distant relative of marijuana. Yeah, it's true. And it totally makes sense because they smell like that. You love the knife and you love the channel. Thanks, Lidl. It's good to see you in here. That is so cool that we have the same knife. Okay, there's a bunch of bones in here, so just be very careful. Don't want anyone to choke on a bone. That would be the worst. I always feel so bad when I prepare something like this and then someone finds a bone. It's like, no, I didn't do my job properly. Okay, so this is cooked. Let me just grab this, the lid from the container, and I'll put the raw stuff on there. Because this will have to go in before the cooked stuff, obviously. We'll let this go for probably a minute or two, and then we'll put in all the cooked fish. So we don't want it to get dried out. Just gonna remove this fishy stuff and wash my knife. Has anyone in chat eaten chowder out of a bread bowl before, or is this a new thing? Because I can say that I've never. I've only eaten chowder out of a porcelain bowl. Would I enjoy working for Ramsay? Probably. But I don't know if like I would enjoy that kind of restaurant work, like the really stressful, fast-paced stuff. Like, I don't know. I think I kind of outgrew that. Like, Vancouver kind of ruined me, to be honest. It's just not worth it. Water is horrible to choke on. Yeah, it is. When it goes down the wrong pipe, you're just like, I might die today. You've had a bread bowl a lot. That's so cool, Trist. It's a new thing for you, Rush, but you love seafood. I think it's going to be really good. Well, I honestly think, like, look at Anthony Bourdain, like, his life and, like, so much stress put onto somebody like that. Like, a lot of chefs do have those mental illnesses and problems with substance abuse, and it's all because of stress, because we don't know how to deal with it afterwards. Okay, we got 1 minute left on these things. And they look heavenly. Okay. Last thing to do is to open our canned goods. The hard part of the stream. It's true, some people do thrive on the stress, but the only people I know that enjoy that do have substance abuse problems, 100%. Whether it's alcohol or drugs, I've never seen anyone love the job without having that involved as well, which sucks. It's just not fair. Chowder is American. It is Rush. Yeah, it's from Eastern America. So the one I'm making today is from Boston. I'm happy that they didn't overfill this. I hate when I open the canned clams on my wooden board and this juice just goes everywhere. It's like forever unclean. Okay, are you guys ready for a peek at these things? Because they look insane. I think they're done too. Look at them. They got a little dark. I will say that, and I think I said that last time I baked buns. But I think these need that really nice crust to hold up to the chowder. So there are our bread bowls. The bottom isn't burnt, so that's the important part here. So now those just have to cool. Woohoo! Everything's coming together. Oven can come off. How many chefs have bipolar disorders? Too many. I've met some I've worked with some weird people. I have to say that. It's such a misfit family. How was the food at the floating place? Oh, by far, one of the best seafood restaurants in the city. It's unreal there, Steve. Perfect buns. You work as a chef and you smoke broccoli. Me too, Lidl. Pound it. But that's all. Like, that's the hardest drug I've ever done. I will not touch any other one. It's just not worth it. Okay, I'm just gonna drain the crab. And let me just taste the clam juice. But I don't think it's needed. I'll probably drain that out too. Yeah, it's super salty. I would not recommend putting the clam juice in there. So let's drain the water out of there too. You smoke lots of green things. Oh, MILF. You're the best. It would be funny if their seafood wasn't local. That would not be funny. I'm sure there would be an uproar. How about shrooms? Nope, never done them. Never done that, guys. I don't know if Thai Red Bull counts as a drug, but got pretty fudged up on that when I was in Thailand. Shrooms are awesome. I've heard people say they're either awesome or they just are pointless. And I've just never been in a place where I'm like, yeah, let's do shrooms. It's like, I'm good. Anyone seen the new Ramsay TV program like Kitchen Nightmares? No, I haven't. October, yeah, October will be able to grow. At least that's what they're saying. Trist, why do you want me to be so mean to Sammy? I can't be mean to Sammy. Am I using the garden? Yeah. I just picked some of the salad greens earlier in stream from the garden. It's looking really good. I'll post some updated photos in Discord for you guys tonight in the garden section. It's a joke. See, I don't joke. I think like chefs are kind of weird to joke about food stuff like that. Like I would be upset. I'd be like, why would you do that? Do we have a question of the day? I did not do a question of the day today. Yeah, that's what I've heard, Thunder. Like that's mostly when people do that kind of stuff. I haven't been camping in a long time though. What should the question of the day be? I don't know. I mean, if you can think of one, Optrix, go for it. Do it up. Okay, I'm just gonna turn the light on. What are you doing?
No, we got the closet.
What did you have for lunch? That is the question. What did I have for lunch? Today I had the leftover spaghetti bolognese. Oh, that's a good one, Optrix. What is everyone's favorite soup? Lidl. Love how you asked the question. What is everyone's favorite soup? That's hard. I do love a good, like, tomato basil made from scratch, but I think my favorite soup is probably coconut, carrot, and ginger. Zuppa Toscana. I'm gonna guess that's from Olive Garden. Okay, I'm just gonna go take a bathroom break and then we're gonna finish the soup. The fish will only have to cook for around 5 minutes. It's coming together. Okie dokes. Okay, so what was everyone's answers? Campbell's chicken noodle, squash and leek soup. I've never made that. Cream of potato or cream of celery. Those are good ones. I never really make cream of celery. The color of those buns is bugging me. I have to remember next time that I should probably turn the oven down maybe 10 degrees lower than the recipe calls for. I just forget how hot it bakes. Lidl, you grilled burgers today. Another one of my viewers grilled burgers. She made chicken burgers. Homemade minestrone. Really good. Okay. Give this a stir. See what we're working with. We're gonna put our uncooked cod in. Like so. Obviously this is gonna thicken up, right? As well as our peas. It's smelling really, really good, I will say that. What is considered soup? Are you serious, Thunder? Liz! Resub 2 months in. Boopin'. Thanks, girl. That's awesome. You know the deal. You might get to win the apron. How was your day, Liz? Okay, so 2 cups of peas going in. You can use frozen as well. It's totally up to you. And these are sprouting for some reason. Weird. Considering we just bought them yesterday. Give that a stir. And now we need to loosen it up, which is why we have our fish stock here. Pour that in. That was about half of it. Because we're still going to be adding more fish, right? Let's turn up the heat a little as well. Like medium low, and then add our chopped dill. Freshly chopped dill. And then we're going to save the chives for a garnish. like I said, we'll only have to cook the cod in here for a minute or two before we add the rest of the fish, and then we just need that fish to come up to temp before we serve because it's already cooked. Count you out of the apron win. You want someone else to win it. Okay, sounds good, Trist. I will do that. Liz, $6.69. Thanks for the tip. The heck? That's amazing. Maybe we can put that tip to good use and make you something next week on stream. I would love that. Maybe a minute more. Yeah, donation hype. Woohoo! Party. I think I want this little guy. Maybe I'll leave that really small one for Betty. Take this one. Okay, so there's our bun. Yeah, it did get a little dark, but it doesn't smell burnt at all. Many. What is on the menu tonight? So now, to serve in this little bread bowl, we just need to cut the top off. We need enough cut off so that we can scoop some bread out and put the soup in. And obviously we want this to be a nice level slice like that. And then like Tris said, because he's eaten this before, he said whatever bread you scoop out, save it on the side and then use it to dip into the chowder and eat it that way. Tastes really good. It's nice and fluffy. And the crust is awesome. So you need a nice thick crust to be able to hold up or stand up to the soup. We went to Washington, D.C. this weekend. That's awesome. My weekend was good. I mean, I worked Saturday and Sunday. But I got off early Sunday, and then Sammy and I went into the city and had a seafood feast. And this is still hot, just so you guys know. But dang, look how good that looks. So just pull out however much bread you think you want to pull out of there. I might have to eat a little bit. Because how can you not? Am I right? Okay. So now we got a little bread bowl. Good amount of bread on the side. You're a soggy bun. I think the bun, obviously the inside might get a little bit soggy, but I don't think the outside will. You just want to be careful to not really break it at all so that the soup doesn't come out the sides, I guess. I've never had this either. You like flatbread bowls? What? Okay. So our cod should be good. Awesome. Let's add in the rest of the cod. So it's going to be a hearty soup. Probably a good 8 to 10 servings out of this. Cleared out the freezer. Our salmon and cod from the fish stock. Can we fit it all? Yes. Y'all know me, pushing the limits. Since 91, the clams. And the crab. This is wild crab meat as well. It's not a pollock, so it's not fake crab. You do not want that in your chowder. In some countries, it's really common to get a bread bowl. Yeah, this is my first time eating one and pretty excited. The soup looks good. Thanks, Steve. I think Sushi Day was addicted to the Brazilian cheese bread. Oh, I never saw it, but that sounds really good. You're eating bread tonight, courtesy of Kate. I think I just want to add like a touch of cream to kind of bring this all together, and then we still need to season this. Maybe half a cup of cream, just a wee bit. Just turn the heat up a touch. Okay, I'm gonna get a serving device. Is it too risky to serve it on a plate? Like, do we really think that the soup is gonna flow through the crust? I don't know. Or should I do it in a bowl, just in case? Seafood chowder, it can be creamy, so the New England style is creamy, but then there's also Manhattan style, which is tomato based and not creamy. Serve it in a bowl, because you never know. It never goes through. Okay, I'll do it on a plate just for photo purposes, but then I'll probably get everyone else to eat theirs in a bowl, because you never know. Too risque. The shell is hard. Yeah, it is. Like, you can hear that. She ain't breaking. Will she hold, Captain? I don't know. You've had many bread bowls at Tim Hortons when it was good. Never went through once. Dang. See, I never had a bread bowl at Tim Hortons. What? You make it soft with the soup, though. I guess we'll see. I did leave some bread inside, yeah, to eat it. I didn't, like, peel away at all, away from the crust, because then I think for sure it would fall apart. Okay, this should be coming up to heat any second now. While we wait, I'll just prep up these other bread bowls. Might as well. Like, how do you not eat the bread, though, when it's right in front of you? It's just too good. I think I'll let everyone kind of pick out their own bread while it's still warm. That's the fun part, I would say. They cut the top and the bread out at the same time? How? That's all clean. Thanks. Okay, Chowder. Okay, I see the steam. That is a good sign. Get a little tasty taste. Mmm. So good. The seafood flavor is not overpowering at all. They cut at an angle inside. Oh, I get it, Trist. I get it. See, I'd be afraid of poking through the bottom, though. I'm gonna do it the rookie way today, then. Do I buy weed legally? Yes? Okay, this definitely needs a lot of salt and pepper. We haven't put any in yet. But sometimes those clams and the canned crab can be really salty, so I always wait to salt it until right at the end before I serve. This will need probably a good couple of tablespoons. And a good amount of fresh cracked pepper. Give that a stir. Gosh, what are you doing? My dog is now mopping my floor with her tongue, and I don't know why. I just cleaned this weekend. Can you not? Stop. You're weird. Don't be weird. Money. Okay, 2 tablespoons of salt was perfect. Turn that to low, and it's time to plate up. Timmy's cut their costs. Yeah. Now Timmy's is crap. 3 streams until we pull a name out. Oh yeah. Chuck Liddell. Oh, Timmy's coffee is terrible. I would never buy coffee from there unless maybe it's a nice cat. Don't mess up the bread bowl. It's working, guys. We're doing it. Woohoo! Look it. So now we just need our chivers that we chopped up for our little fancy garnish. Let's see. I think that looks so good. Trist, does it look good? I'm into it. Okay, going to take a quick photo. It looks straight out of Panera bread. Thanks, Liz. Yeah, I've never eaten Panera bread. So they do bread bowls as well then? Get to eat it. Yes. Yes. Thanks, guys. It wasn't that hard, I have to say. Like, the soup part's easy. I would say the bread part is pretty easy. And hopefully it's worth it. Give it a little tasty taste. They have a broccoli cheddar bread bowl. That sounds so good. Panera's cheap on their servings. Come on. Okay. So the bread is definitely soaking in a good amount of the broth. It's a hearty soup, I will say that. So there is my spoonful. She be thick. Mm-hmm. That's really good. Heavy on the seafood, I will say that. But I love that there's these bread pieces to like eat in between. I feel like it needs that. Unless you save those and just eat your bread bowl after. It's up to you. Steve, in 2010, your dad was drinking 8 to 12 cups a day from Tim's. When he stopped drinking coffee, you looked like he was getting over crack. That's insane. I would probably be hospitalized because I'd be so dehydrated. I have like 1 cup of coffee and I can't even function right. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna keep munching. Classic Kate. I'm not gonna show you guys the salad. It tastes like roasted corn. Or it tastes like corn and peppers and tomatoes with a lemon-style vinaigrette. You're eating an orange. Liz, no tacos tonight? Okay, let me just see who's on. We'll go raid someone. We gots to. So am I gonna have 2 bowls tonight? Maybe. Probably. I probably need 2 servings of chowder in this little bowl to begin with. Okay, who am I seeing? Holy hunger service. I think we're gonna go into hunger service. He's like one of my faves. And I am so down. Samosas is what he's making. Just for you, Liz. You look like a taco. All right, guys. Thanks for the awesome stream. Thanks for the biddies, the resubs, which I totally appreciate. Thanks, crew. Gotta love my onion squad. It's true. And the donations as well. Thanks, Liz. And I hope you guys learned something today from the stream. That is all I really want out of this, is to teach you guys how to cook and not be as scared. So we're gonna go raid hunger service. Be good to his chat. There's a bunch of them in there, so good luck. I will say that. And I probably won't stay in there for too long, but I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. And I will be back on tomorrow. We're doing a Asian style food. So Korean barbecue chicken, which I've never made before, from scratch, a pork and pineapple fried rice, and some roasted broccoli and radishes on the side. He's done? No. Really? It says that he's still on. We're gonna go in anyways. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Thanks for being here, Trist. I hope you were happy with the bread bowl as well, since this was your request. Hope you have good food. Thanks, MILF. I hope you guys all have good food as well. It's what life's all about. Eating good food, chilling with awesome peeps. See you tomorrow.